Hello, everyone. I'd like to share with you how I got my job, my first good job. At 18 years old, I was looking for a job, and my father had two friends who worked for FedEx. And one of them was a courier, and the other one was in the management role. So he called up his buddy that worked in management and forwarded my resume to him, and advised him to give me a shot. So the his friend called me one day and basically took a phone interview, and he asked me if I had uh, a car. So I said no, but I told him honestly I can arrange something for it. The reason was the location he worked for was outside of Toronto. It was a bit far from my house. It was about a 30-minute drive. So that was that. I guess because I didn't have a car, he didn't want to take a risk. He didn't want to take a liability. So I didn't hear back from him for months. I applied online. I didn't get a job. So my father, insisted that I keep trying because he had heard a lot of good things about FedEx. So one day, I was walking down my the road near my home, and I saw a FedEx truck stop to do a delivery. So I approached him, and he got scared because I lived in Regent Park. It was in a great area, and he was startled. So I told him, "Excuse me, sir, can I speak to you?" He's like, "Yeah, sure. What? You have a package?" And I told him, "No, I would like to work for FedEx." He's like, "Really? Are you sure?" And then he's like, "Well, you can just take your resume to um, Sherborne and Lakeshore, which was like a 20-minute walk from my house." So I decided to do that. I grabbed my resume and I walked down to Sherborne and Lakeshore. When I got there, there was two gentlemen who were at the front counter, and I asked them, can I drop off my resume? I'm looking for a job. And then they laughed at me. They told me, "No, that's not how it works here anymore. You got to do it online." So I told him, I applied online many times. And he's like, "Keep doing it." So that was a pure fail, right? So as I was walking away, walking through the door, all depressed, the guy called me back. He's like, "Hey, listen, there's a job fair this Saturday, but it's not here in Toronto. It's outside of Toronto. You can go there, you know, and then work your way back to Toronto. Maybe they'll hire you." So I told him, thanks. He wrote down the address and everything, and I went on Saturday, 7 a.m. There was no one there. Buildings closed. So I'm just sitting there outside waiting. It was a bit cold, too. But I still stood there, waited. Around 9 o'clock, an employee came to open up the building. So she saw me and she's like, "Excuse me, can I help you?" And I said, "I'm just waiting for the job fair. I heard there's a job fair here today." She told me, "No, I don't think so." And I'm like, "Yeah, the YBZ, the Toronto location told me to come here." She's like, "You know what? Wait. I'll just go check with my manager. I'll call my manager. Give me a few minutes. I'll be back." So she went inside the building, came back after 15 minutes. She's like, "It's not today. It's next Saturday." So again, I went the next Saturday, and I got there 7 a.m. again. When I got there, there was like hundreds of people waiting in line. So I just joined the line. Eventually, it was my turn. And they needed four things. They needed a G driver's license, a high school diploma, um, a driver's abstract, and they needed a resume. So I had my resume, I had my driver's license, a G license, and then what's that called? I had my resume. I just didn't have my driver's abstract. So the human resources lady immediately told me, look, a lot of people don't have the driver's abstract, they don't know. So I'll give you the opportunity to go get it and come back. And I'll let you skip the line and I'll let you talk to the senior manager, the hiring manager. So I went outside, driver's abstract. I have no idea where to get it. So I called up my big brother and he told me, yeah, just go to Girard Square. There's a kiosk. You just put your credit card and your license number and it'll print out your abstract immediately. So I went, I did that, and I came back. And the HR, the human resource lady, recognized me and she's like, hey, you're back. All right. Immediately, she'd put me in. And just to let you know, there were some people trying to get in without getting their driver's abstract. So I could hear them say, oh, why can't you just trust me and just let me in, yada yada. But they weren't letting that happen. They were being fair. Only people who go get their driver's abstract. So anyways, they let me in. I spoke to the gentleman. His name was Ize Duke. Amazing guy. We spoke more than an hour. He had this questionnaire, and the whole time he was just asking me questions. And surprisingly, I actually answered every one of his questions. Again, I was hungry for a job. So, by the end of the interview, he told me, how you gonna come here? And again, he's asking me the same question that my dad's friend asked me. Do you have a car? And I said, no, but I'll arrange it. And he's like, all right, let me get back to you. Then within the next day, what he did was he forwarded my resume and my whole application over to the Toronto location. So this 20 minutes from my house, walking distance. And this gentleman named Gordon Gray, so we call him Gord, he called my house. And my mother doesn't know how to speak English, so that was just waste. Fail right there. So this gentleman, he actually called me again. And my mother didn't understand. So the third time he called my friend's cell phone number. So I had left my friend's cell phone number just in case, I didn't have a cell phone. This was 2006. What happened was my friend gave me the message, but he didn't write down the phone number or anything. So that was another waste. And then one day I was home around 6 p.m. I was home and Gord had called me again, the hiring manager from Toronto location. So I picked up the phone and he's like, can I speak to Saleh? And then I said, yeah, speaking. He's like, oh, Mr. VIP, it's been so hard to get you. And he's like, yeah, your mom's been picking up the phone and she doesn't know how to speak English. So yeah, I thought I should call you back. But he's like, furthermore, the reason I'm doing this is because the person who told me to hire you, I really respect him. So basically, Ize Duke told him about me and told him to do it. So he's just respecting the fact that Ize Duke told him to do it. So he called me and he's like, can you come in tomorrow so I can talk to you? So I was like, yep. So that's how it happened, So basically, this all took a long time, But what I'm trying to basically convey here is you got to go outside. A lot of people nowadays, they just apply online. You can't do that. You have to go out there and face to face. Sometimes just because of the way you dress, just because of the nice face you have, or the way nice words you have, or the way you talk, people will hire you. So yeah, I hope this helps you in getting a job. All the best to you. Peace.